Have you ever seen an ad and just thought, how did they come up with that? Well, today we are pulling back the curtain on the whole world of marketing promotions. We're going to show you exactly how companies are fighting for your attention in what is, let's be honest, a really, really crowded world. So let's just start with a number, 5,000. What do you think that is? I mean, it's a huge number, and it actually represents the communication storm that we are all living in every single day. You heard that right, 5,000. That's roughly the number of ads and brand messages the average person gets hit with every single day. It creates this deafening wall of noise, and that makes it incredibly difficult for any one message to actually break through and be heard. And this quote just hits the nail on head. You could literally invent the best thing in the world, but if nobody knows it exists, what's the point? It's just a secret collecting dust somewhere. Promotion. That's the megaphone that turns a secret into a household name. But, using that megaphone can be super risky. Do you remember Peloton's holiday ad from 2019? A husband gives his wife a Peloton. And, well, it definitely cut through the noise, all right? But it also sparked this huge backlash. Critics called it out for being tone deaf, for promoting negative body image. It's the perfect example of how high the stakes are. Get it right, you're genius. Get it wrong, you become a meme for all the wrong reasons. So, okay, with all this noise and all this risk, how do marketers even get started? Well, they don't just, throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. They have a very specific set of tools called the promotion mix. Think of it like a specialized toolkit for building the perfect message. All right, first up in the toolkit is the one we all know, advertising. It's everywhere. The main things to remember here are that it's paid for, it's not a one-on-one conversation, and you always know who's sending the message. Think about those huge Super Bowl commercials. The goal there is maximum reach, just getting one big, powerful message in front of as many eyeballs as humanly possible. Next up, we've got sales promotion. So if advertising is like the big public announcement, sales promotion is the little nudge that gets you to move. It's all about creating a sense of urgency. You know the vibe. Buy one, get one free, or 50% off for the next 24 hours. It's the tool that basically whispers in your ear, hey, you should probably do this right now. Now for the most up-close and personal approach, personal selling. This is that classic one-on-one conversation. But because it takes so much time and effort, it is by far the most expensive tool in the entire kit. Yeah, you're not going to see this used for a pack of gum. It's saved for the really big ticket items, like buying a car or closing a huge business deal. But what about all those messages that don't really feel like ads? Well, that's where public relations, or PR, comes in. This is all about earning media coverage, not paying for it. And because the message comes from a third party, like a news station, it has way more credibility. The textbook example of this is the Tylenol crisis back in 1982. Their quick, transparent response built a massive amount of public trust and pretty much saved the entire brand. It was incredible. Direct marketing, on the other hand, just cuts out the middleman completely. It's a brand talking directly to you. That email you got with a 20% off coupon for the exact pair of shoes you were just looking at? Yep, that's direct marketing. It's personal, it's targeted, and it's designed to make you act right away. And finally, the absolute powerhouse of the modern toolkit, internet and digital marketing. This is so much more than a one-way street. It's an interactive, two-way conversation. It uses everything from social media to websites to mobile apps to actually engage with customers, and that allows for instant feedback and super precise targeting. So, how in the world do marketers pick the right tool for the job? Well, it's all about trade-offs, right? As you can see here, if you need total control over your message, you're probably going to lean into advertising or digital marketing. But if you need to build serious trust and credibility, nothing beats good old-fashioned PR. But then again, if you're on a tight budget, the super high cost of personal selling is probably off the table. It's this constant balancing act to hit a very specific goal. But here's the thing. Is just having a bunch of great tools in your toolkit enough anymore? Absolutely not. The real secret sauce, the master plan that brings everything together, is something called Integrated Marketing Communications, or IMC for short. The whole idea behind IMC is solving this exact problem. In a world where we're seeing thousands of messages, how do you make sure that whether a customer sees a TV ad or an Instagram post or gets an email from you, they get one single, consistent, and powerful message from your brand? Okay, let's make this super real with an example. Imagine Taco Bell launches a new burrito. First, you see this awesome TV ad for it. Cool.
Then, later that day, boom, an email hits your inbox reminding you it's a limited time offer. Then, you're scrolling through Instagram and a delicious looking photo of it pops up in your feed. And finally, when you're driving near a Taco Bell, a push notification hits your phone with a coupon. You see that? Every single step reinforces the last one, building up that awareness and that urgency. That right there is IMC in action.
And this kind of seamless coordination doesn't just happen by magic. A really good IMC campaign follows a very clear blueprint. It's a strategic plan designed to guide a customer all the way from being a total stranger to becoming a die-hard fan. And that blueprint is often mapped out using what's called the 5A framework. It's basically the customer's journey. So first, you have to be aware that a product even exists. Then it has to appeal to you in some way. If it does, you might ask for more information, Google it or something. That leads you to act, which is usually making the purchase. And then the final, most valuable step is advocacy, where you become such a loyal fan that you start telling other people about it. Smart marketers design messages for every single stage of this journey. So what do those messages actually look like? Well, they usually fall into one of two buckets. You've got your rational appeal, which speaks to our brain. It focuses on logic, features, facts. Think of a car ad that's all about fuel efficiency and safety ratings. Then you have the emotional appeal, which speaks to our heart. Coca-Cola, for instance, doesn't sell you on its ingredients, it sells you the idea of happiness. And look, neither one is better than the other. The right choice just depends entirely on what the brand is trying to accomplish. Now, having all these incredibly powerful tools comes with a pretty huge responsibility. So let's wrap things up by talking about the ethical side of things, the rules of the game that all marketers have to play by. Okay, one of the biggest ethical gray areas is this thing called puffery. It's basically the legal exaggeration of claims that are subjective. So calling your coffee the best in the world, that's puffery. No one can prove or disprove that. But claiming your coffee is 10 times stronger than your competitors, well, that's a factual claim, and you'd better be able to prove it. If you can't, you've just crossed the line into false advertising. At the end of the day, this whole thing really just boils down to trust. Yeah, there are agencies like the Federal Trade Commission that police this stuff, especially around transparency with influencers. But for us, it's about being aware. Always be on the lookout for that little hashtag ad or hashtag sponsored tag. You have a right to know if what you're seeing is a genuine opinion or a paid commercial. So I'm going to leave you with this little challenge. The next time an ad really grabs your attention, I want you to look a little closer. Will you just see the message on the surface, or will you be able to see the strategy working behind the scenes? Thanks for digging into the world of marketing with me today.